Everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSI DFS, breaking down the main slate for Thursday, June 10th. If you're looking for early information, McKinley412 does a separate video for that. So as always, just pause this video, go to our channel, look for it, watch that, just get all the great information you need for the early slate, and then come on back and we'll help you break down the night slate. 6-game slate starting at hopefully 7:05 p.m. tonight. The first game has a lot of weather issues. And the format today is I'm just going to go through the 6 games. The pitchers and the stacks will manifest itself as we go through this. So no need to do separate segments for that, but we'll still do the lineup breakdown at the end. So first game, weather concerns, it's Washington, San Francisco, Anthony DeSclafani against Max Scherzer. Scherzer is probably the top pitcher on the slate if this game actually goes. So we'll have to watch for that. DeSclafani is interesting. He's an okay pitcher, not a great strikeout. If you want to get really contrarian or need something really cheap on a 6-game slate, you can go there, but I'm not super interested in this context. San Francisco bats. Crawford's having a great season. Bell's not bad. If you want to take some lefties there against Scherzer and maybe gives up a home run in a YOLO GPP, I'm fine with that, but probably would stay away. Like the left-handed Washington bats, if they actually play here too, they have Schwarber leading off potentially, Soto. Bell's a switch hitter. We can put Turner in the stack too, so there's a nice one 4-man there, and just maybe Avila, the catcher, who's left-handed, also would be hitting up higher in the order. So somebody to potentially finish off as a 5-man there. Next game would be the Miami Marlins and the Colorado Rockies. I think Trevor Rogers is the second best play on the slate for a pitcher. I think a lot of people will be playing Scherzer Roger if you can get bats in with that. You just have to punt a few players, but I think that's probably the most logical build tonight. Here, they get a Rockies team. I don't care if Trevor Story's back. I think, between him and Cron would be the only ones that would give Rogers trouble. He's a good pitcher. He has almost 30% K rate on the season, and he's in a good pitcher's ballpark. So I'm just lock him right in there as he'll become SP1 if the Scherzer's rained out. So I think I'm going to look to go those two. Chichi Gonzalez on the other side, not interested, even though it's the Marlins in the pitching park. Not going to go there. I think he's got below a 20% strikeout rate. It's just not someone to consider for DFS here. Rockies bats not interested in. Marlins bats and the GPP if you want to take some of the lefties like Jazz and Dickerson. Actually, you know what? Chichi Gonzalez really isn't blowing the ball by anybody. So Marte, Aguilar, Duvall, if you want to stack all 5 of them here, I wouldn't do it in cash because there's 3 stacks that are much more powerful that you want to be on. But if you're looking to do it in the GPP and then take some expensive bats with it, then that definitely works. Next game is the Houston Astros and the Boston Red Sox. You have Zach Greinke versus Eduardo Rodriguez. Boston lineup isn't great. I mean, they have some times where they can put it together and go off. So I can see pitching Greinke here, but he's pretty much an average pitcher at this point. So if that'd be just if you're trying to get cute or something. 7-8, the pricing's not bad. So Eduardo Rodriguez, I'm not interested in. Houston's very patient, don't strike out much, don't walk much, and they're pretty good against left-handed pitching. So really like a Houston stack here. Altuve, Correa, Bregman, Gurriel. I even go with Alvarez. The other thing I might do is throw the catcher Mountain Mardolado in there. He's only 2-2, so kind of do maybe a wraparound thing there and go like 8-1-2. 3-5 to do that. Now, here's something that you need to call your friends and you need to tell them, do not let me play left-handed batters against Zach Greinke, because naturally you're going to look at it, right-handed pitcher. Boston's got some good left-handed bats in Verdugo and Devers, and you think, okay, if I want some one-offs or if I want to play a Boston stack, they need to be my centerpieces. Let me tell you why not. Left-handed slugging against Greinke, 277. Left-handed ISO, 0.077. He's striking out 24.9% of left-handed batters. If you look at the right-handed batters he faces, his slugging is 4.85. His right-handed ISO is 0.205, and he's only striking out 18.3%. So he is much worse against righties than he is lefties. So in here, I think I'm definitely going to stack Boston in a GPP tonight. It's going to be wicked hard not to. So I'm going to take Santana. I'm going to take JD Martinez. I'm going to take Bogarts. Renfroe has really good BVP against him. I'm going to hope I don't see him in the projected lineup because it's a righty-on-righty matchup, but hopefully Boston knows what I know, and they play Kiki Hernandez, which sucks now because he used to be second base and outfield eligible. Looks like he's just outfield eligible now. But if he's not in there, I might take Dahlback at the bottom of it at 2-2, and then just kind of wrap around and do Dahlback, Santana, Martinez, Bogart, and then Renfroe. So there's a couple gaps there. I'm skipping the lefties, but in GPP, I really like that. When I built it, it gave me pretty good. That was with Scherzer and Rogers. It gave me a really nice amount of salary left for second and third baseman. So I think, that's definitely the way I'm looking. Hope for what you have to do with that is you have to play Santana in the outfield and then Dahlback at first base just to make it work. So if you just pull up the lineup before it's there and you're just like hitting the plus signs, just putting guys in and wondering like why you can't play Santana and Dahlback, then that's the reason why if you put Santana in first. Okay. So next game up is going to be the Blue Jays and the White Sox. Ryu is a good pitcher. I just don't like him against Chicago White Sox. They're usually pretty good against the right-handed or left-handed pitching. Dallas Keuchel, I'm not interested in him there. Ryu would be very contrarian. He's the second highest one on the slate, and if Scherzer is rained out, he might get some ownership. Taking a chance against this White Sox, it's not in like the Buffalo ballpark, so it's on the road. Wind blowing in a little bit, 8 miles per hour. It's only 73 degrees there, so it's not like it's in the 80s or 90s. So I can see it, but I don't think I'm going there. Maybe I'll play like one GPP line with him in there just to be contrarian, just to see, maybe to get a little bit more money for a bat or so. But I don't think I'm going there. This Toronto lineup, I really like it. If you want to stack them in cash, if you play them and Rogers, it's going to be hard because if you take Rogers and you take Scherzer, if Scherzer plays, and then you take like Maldonado at catchers at 2-2. Now there is the Toronto catcher, which is mid-price that you could throw in there also, and then there's Red Vaught, like. I got to watch a Minnesota game, so I know how to pronounce that catcher's name. From Minnesota, he's projected. He's only 2K also. So if you take Maldonado or one of those, or take this Toronto catcher and only play 4 Blue Jays, it works. But if you take like Maldonado at 2-2, or and then you take Semien, Brissett, Guerrero, Timo Hernandez, and Grichuk, which would be 1 through 5 in the batting order, you're going to have 2K left for your last 2 spots. Exactly. So that's kind of hard. You're going to have to see. I think there's probably the positions that are left open. There are 2K guys projected to start, so it will work. They're not the greatest. You might want to consider dropping Timo Hernandez, even though he's been pretty good recently, and putting like Gurriel at 3-6. Or take the catcher there, and then that will open up some more salary for you if you want to do that. White Sox, that would just definitely be a GPP stack against Ryu, but I think he's such a good pitcher. I just don't think that they're gonna. But I'm okay in a GPP if you want to stack them, and it looks like they're rolling out a completely right-handed lineup there. Yankees against the Twins. Michael King, he's only won a couple innings last time out. He's a really good pitcher, so he's only 5.7, so he definitely opened up a lot if you want to take a shot on a GPP. Don't be surprised, 70, 75, 80 pitches max. So the Yankees have a good bullpen. It's going to be 96 degrees there, so this is a decent Twins lineup. So there's a little bit of risk there, but Yankees against Hap have to be my favorite stack. DJ LeMahieu is probably my favorite player on the whole slate. Only 4-2 leading off against him. Stanton had 2 home runs last night. Judge had a home run. They're hitting the ball well. It's hot here. These guys are just absolutely mash, and I think they're my favorite stacks. So when I plugged them in with Scherzer and Rogers, and I took LeMahieu, Stanton, Judge, Torres, and Urshela there, and Maldonado at catcher, that left me 2-3, I believe. For first or second base, you'd have to toggle between, because LeMahieu can play first or second, and then outfield was open. And there were some guys that fit in. I did like the lineup overall. Maybe some more surprises will pop up. I do have the option too to drop down to get $200 more potentially. But then again, we'll just have to see if Scherzer actually pitches, because if he doesn't, and I go Rogers, and then in this next game we're going to talk about Montas as my second starter, then that opens up plenty of salary there. And I think the Yankees will be uber chalk if Scherzer is rained out and people go Montas and Rogers. I think you'll definitely be able to comfortably fit in the Yankees. So at that point, you might want to be a little bit different. You might want to throw in like Sanchez. You can do a wraparound here too. Gittins is batting 8th in 2K, but he only has like 1 walk in 2 games and 7 plate appearances. So I've seen him play at the minor league level. He's a decent player, but I think he's maybe a little bit above his capabilities right now. So I think that you'd really need to watch that. Frazier's the one that I'd really pick up here and probably go after if you're doing a wraparound and trying to save some money. Okay, final game, Kansas City and Oakland. Mike Minder's a really good pitcher. You just have to see what Oakland rolls out here. He's really good against lefties. So if you do have like Kemp and Brown and Olsen and Lowry hitting from the left-hand side in there, I definitely would like it. But if they come in with an all right-handed lineup, then maybe not so much. Frankie Montas on the other side, like I said, he would be my third choice for pitcher if Scherzer is rained out. Don't really have any interest in the KC bats, and perhaps I would do an Oakland stack if it's an all right-handed, but that'd be more GPP. So like I said, Scherzer, definitely watch the weather there. Scherzer Rogers probably the pairing. Rogers and Montas. If not, if you want to get a little bit crazy and try to get the bats in, like King is interesting but could be risky with the weather and how long he's going to go. Really, there's not too many. Like I said, Greinke, possibly Ryu if you want to be a little bit contrarian and think the ownership's going to be low there. But pretty much favorite stacks definitely going to be the Yankees number 1, Toronto number 2, Houston number 3, playing the Red Sox in a GPP, and potentially consider the White Sox, Marlins, and if Washington plays, I like the lefties there. So that's pretty much what we have. If you were following along, pretty much the lineup builds were in this as I went along. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys have a good night tonight, and hopefully the Yankees hit a lot of home runs and we have some really decent scores again. So there's been a lot of speculation too. There's been a lot of talk on social media and in meetings and stuff about pitchers using substances on balls, and the umpires been asked to really crack down on that. So is that why we saw a lot of home runs last night, a lot of multiple home runs last night? There's speculation that Garrett Cole was doing it too, but he seemed to pitch pretty well regardless of that. So just something to watch over the next couple of days. So hopefully that is true. Maybe there was some extra stuff on the balls, putting a little extra movement on it, making it harder to hit. And now these hitters will be able to take advantage of that, especially as we get into summer and warmer temperatures. So appreciate you guys watching. Please give us a like. That helps us get this information that's free out to so many other people. And then you can hit subscribe so you know when our videos come out. And also leave us some comments below. We love interacting with the people that watch our videos, or a lot of people directly hit me up on Twitter at MegaRuler31. Sorry, guys. So until next time, MegaRuler out.